Welcome into the Dale Codrington Show on NBC Sports Radio. We have a lot to get into today, but first we have to talk about the NFL, and the NFL owners are thinking about giving Roger Goodell a 5-year contract extension. What are they thinking? A commissioner is supposed to be someone who regulates the sport. When I think about a commissioner, I think about someone who's trustworthy, someone who's honorable, someone who cares about the fans and the players. Someone who's not afraid to make the tough decisions, even if it's a hard decision. And when I think about Roger Goodell, that's just not it. See, for the last 10 years, he's made himself and the owners very wealthy people, while the fans and the players, well, we just get kicked to the curb and we're stuck suffering. All I can think about with Roger Goodell is money, because that's the only thing he does well. See, if you look at Roger Goodell from a money standpoint, the man looks like $1 million, or maybe 35 million, because, that's what he pulls in a year. And the owners love him, obviously, because he keeps making them money. Who's going to hate a man that's getting them richer? He's doubled league's revenue. He's inked a $7 billion contract per year with television stations. Like I said, when you think about him and money, the man looks like a god. But is that really what the league needs right now? Don't you think we need someone who actually cares about the players and the fans? The players, the people who the fans come to see. And the fans, the reason why you guys are getting wealthy, we're putting money in your pockets and you're treating us like trash. I just don't understand the correlation there. Roger Goodell, honestly, you should be on the NFL marketing team, the front line at that. You're great when it comes to that. But leave the commissioning to someone who actually cares about the betterment of the game, the betterment of the players, and the betterment of the fans. It's not a coincidence that no matter where he goes, he's sure to get booed. Whether it's the Super Bowl or draft day, he's always getting booed. And all of it is deserving, because he is a terrible decision maker. That's where it all stems from. Roger Goodell just can't handle making the tough decisions. And he has no rhyme or reason for what he does. He just goes out there. It's like he picks out of a hat what he's going to choose to do when he has to make a tough decision. If you don't believe me, let's recap some of his decision making. First, let's talk about the Ray Rice incident. If any of you don't know what happened, Ray Rice beat his wife on the elevator. Word got out. Roger Goodell suspended him for 2 games. Then a video comes out and he gets put under some public scrutiny, him and the NFL. And next thing you know, Ray Rice is suspended indefinitely. So why did a video have to come out to make you suspend him indefinitely? Was hearing that he beat his wife on the elevator not bad enough, but you actually had to see the video? No, what it was that you didn't want to take the flack from the public. So you did what you thought was right, not what was right in the first place. So now Ray Rice gets kicked out the NFL. Next, Adrian Peterson. He beats his child with the switch. For many of you who don't know what a switch is, it is basically a tree branch, and it hurts. Trust me, I know firsthand. Adrian Peterson gets suspended, but he gets to stay in the NFL. So now you can beat your wife and get kicked out, but you can beat your child and with a tree branch at that and stay in the NFL. Roger Goodell, you have no basis for why you make decisions. Why not be fair? Adrian Peterson does not belong in the NFL if Ray Rice doesn't belong in the NFL. Both of them should have got kicked out. Is it because AP was a bigger superstar you let him stay? I don't understand how you make decisions. Just tuning in, this is Dale Codrington on the Dale Codrington Show on NBC Sports Radio, and we're talking about Roger Goodell and his horrible decision making. Next up is his Richie Incognito decision. So Richie Incognito, for many of you who don't know, was a man who bullied his teammate, sent him disturbing messages. He forced him to pay for trips, and he used racial slurs when talking to him. This man got to stay in the NFL. So the NFL is a place for child beaters and bullies, but not for women beaters. I don't understand, again, Roger Goodell, how you could let someone like this stay in the NFL. Using racial slurs while talking to somebody, bullying them, forcing them to pay for trips, and you think he's justified to stay in the NFL? Are you kidding me? And if those weren't bad enough, I'm sure many of you haven't even heard about this. Roger Goodell chose to stop funding money to CTE research, which is a very important issue to players. Anyone who played football, even like myself, knows concussions are a serious injury, and they can lead to CTE, which is basically your brain dissolving. It causes memory loss, confusion, impaired judgment, and depression. And this is what you chose to stop funding? Players such as Patrick Willis and Calvin Johnson left the game early in their prime because they wanted to make sure that they were still able to play with their kids and do stuff with their families, which is so respectable. But some players, many players, they're not going to get that luxury. They love the game too much and they won't leave. But concussions is a part of the game. We all know that. But why would you choose to stop funding something that can help NFL players after and during their careers? Players such as Junior Seau, who, rest in peace, killed himself because of depression. They linked it to CTE. So you don't think that's serious? Roger Goodell, is that something that you can stop funding money to? How about we give some money from your paycheck to keep funding that? Because it's a serious issue. I just can't believe that somebody would stop funding that. It's just absurd to me. And last but not least, the replacement refs. Are you kidding me? One of the most comical times in NFL history. I can still remember watching the Green Bay and Seattle Seahawks game, coming down to the wire, end of the game, pass goes up, clearly not a touchdown. One ref says yes, the other says no. They talk about it, touchdown. I couldn't even get mad at the referees. Why? Because they were replacement refs. The real ones weren't there because you, Roger Goodell, didn't want to pay them. Why didn't you want to pay them? The world may never know. It's probably because it was going to cut into your $35 million per year salary. Why would you think it's okay to not pay the people that are regulating the game? I just don't get it. And owners, if you really cared about your players and fans like you say you do, you wouldn't give Roger Goodell the 5-year contract extension. See, it's going to come a day where his morals and bad decision making stops making you money. And then ask yourself this question. Will you still think he's a great commissioner? But with all this football talk, find out what Amani Tuma thinks about the New York Giants and the NFC East coming up after the break. I'm Dale Codrington, and you are now listening to the Dale Codrington Show on NBC Sports Radio.